Hey guys, today we're putting together some headers for a manifold for some radiant heat work that we're doing over in this old house that we're fixing up. So I got some copper headers here. I'm going to be sweating them together and putting some 90s on there and stuff so that we can hook it up to our boiler system tomorrow. So I can give you a few tips on soldering and stuff. Not that I'm a pro at soldering, but I've done quite a bit of it, so I'm not too bad at it. Maybe you can pick something up from it. I'll give you what I know anyways. Thanks. So we got these headers here. I get these headers from PEX Universe. They're fairly inexpensive. I got ones with valves on and ones without, so you can isolate and shut these off. These ones got the valves. You can turn everything off when you're bleeding out the system. Problem is they come different. This one has a PEX end on it. This one's flared out to a 1-inch. So what I want to do is I want to make them all adapt down to 3/4 inches. So I got all these fittings here. I got these reducers. I'm going to hook these onto here. And then I'm going to, where are they? Basically hook that to there. And then I'm going to hook this onto here like this. And I'm going to end up with 3/4 inches. I got to end up with 3/4 inches on the end so I can sweat it to my boiler system. That's what we're doing today. So I got 4 of them to do. I got these two, this one, smaller one, and then this one. Got to cut the end off of that. And then I got to make that one and this one. We'll get to it. First thing you gotta do is you gotta sand up the ends of these fittings so that the solder sticks to it. So I got some emery cloth here. You just run it around there. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand all these fittings. I want to sand all the mating surfaces of them. That side's gonna go in. Then the inside of this one. So I like to roll it up on my finger like that for the inside. Stick it in there. Sand it down good. I'm going to cut the end of this off, this flared, so we can sweat a 1-inch fitting on there. That's 3/4 inch PEX, and we want to go to 1 inch, so I'm just going to cut that off with a bandsaw. kind of get a couple files and clean it up. I got a flat file and a chainsaw file for sharpening the chainsaw. Just cleaning the burrs off the inside of it. Do it with a flat file. Okay, we got the end cut off of it, so now I'm going to sand it down with the emery cloth. Rough it up. Same thing with this end. I'm going to cut that off so that we can get to 1 inch. So we got all our parts cleaned up, all the mating surfaces are cleaned up on everything. Got the ends cut off like we wanted to do. So everything that mates up you want to sand, like the insides of these, all been sanded. Here outside of here, inside of that one. This thing, this reducing bushing, done on outside of here, inside of there, because that's a street. This is a street elbow, meaning one side goes in, one side's this is a male and this is a female on this side, so that's called a street elbow. So everything's sanded up good. I just use emery cloth. You can use a wire brush. You can use a wire brush on a drill, which is easier, but I don't have my drill here today. So I'm in the shop. All my tools are over to the house, so I'm just puttering, trying to get this soldered up so that tomorrow it's ready when I go work on the house. So now we're going to flux everything up. I got this flux here, a little brush. I'm going to brush all the ends, all the mating surfaces together and put it all back together, and then we can solder it. Just take your brush, get a little of this paste on there. You don't want any wood wood chips in there. It's a wood chip actually. So get some paste on your brush like that. This paste, this flux will draw the solder into the weld surface. So you want to get it on there. I put it on pretty heavy. Might not need as much as I do, but I lay it on there pretty good. I'm going to hit that surface there. And then this is going to want to go into this. So these two are going to go together. So I hit one side, I'm going to hit the inside of this one as well. Slide them together, and usually it'll ooze out when you get enough of it in there. So that connection is ready for solder now. But I gotta hook that to my header, so I'm gonna grab my header. This one. Take this one here. We gotta make Alright guys, so everything's ready to solder. Got everything fitted together. This is how everything wants to be. Got all my 90s on there. This one has a cap in it. These headers come in different configurations, so I just cut them and make them how I want them. They don't always come exactly how you want them. These have to come out at 3/4 inches because my heating system has 3/4 inch stubs coming off the pumps, which I can show you tomorrow. But we'll just get these built tonight so they're ready. We're going to solder them all together now. I'm going to grab a bucket of cold water so I can keep things cool in a rag, and then we'll get to soldering these things. I like to have some cold water and a rag to wipe the solder off. So I'll just, little bucket, little rag, get it wet. So as I'm soldering, I can just wipe it off. I just have this right here ready. I got some 50-50 solder here because this is non-potable water stuff. This is for heating. So if it was for domestic water, you would have 100% lead-free solder. This is 50% lead, 50% tin. So take your torch here. Want to heat this area up real good and just start dabbing this in there until it starts dripping out. And then you're good. I like to apply my heat all the way around it. And then you just touch the solder to it, and if it starts to melt, you know you're ready. And it'll actually suck the solder right into it. I think it's hot enough. I'm going to dab that on there. The solder actually draws right into that joint. It's dripping, starting to drip. Once it's dripping solder, you know that joint's full. Take your rag here and just give it a good little wipe. Like that. That's it. So this joint's done, now I gotta hit this joint. Not crazy about the name, but maybe I'll move it. Heat on there again. That's that one I notched out. That won't hurt nothing though. The solder's all the way down in there pretty good. Gotta be careful because these are soldered on. I didn't realize these are soldered on, so I had to be careful not to get the solder bubbling too high out of that and break that seal right there. I think we got it though. Okay guys, there's all the headers. All sweated together. They shouldn't leak. I usually don't have any leaks. Might take me a while to do it, but they usually don't leak. So tomorrow we're going to put these on the HTP water heater setup and get ready to hook some heat up. Looking forward to that. Thanks for tuning in. So here's our radiant headers all hooked up to the boiler system. I just got one little zone running. I got that pump hot wired on there, just keeping this one zone going. I just threw some tubing along here. There's still no heat in this house, so I didn't want things to freeze. So I just rolled up maybe 100 foot of tubing and stick it around all my stuff here. So it's working. The HTP is on. Heating the water. I got the, like I said, pumps hot wired. Just plugged it in. Made an old cord. Plugged it into power. But here's them headers that we were building. They're all soldered on there. I did have one small leak. No big deal. It took me just a second to fix it, but. And we're gonna hook all the tubing up to these headers. That's gonna run through the floor. And out there's even a zone's gonna be in the garage. And that's gonna be the heat for this house. It's coming out pretty good. I gotta get all the tubing in the floor. Just wanted to show you the finished product. These are cheap, these headers, to build. You buy radiant headers all done up and they're expensive.